Multiple sclerosis is a very nasty neurodegenerative disease that is involved with the myelin sheaths on your neurons. So your nerve cells have a couple different parts to them. They have the cell bodies that has all the nucleus and the dendrites and stuff, and then they have the axon. The axon is the long fiber that is insulated by special cells called Schwann cells. These Schwann cells make up the myelin sheaths that act to insulate neurons and help propagate the signal throughout the entire neuron. However, in multiple sclerosis, the myelin sheaths are actually degraded, so they start to wear away and just degenerate until they do not do their proper function, so the nerve cells get messed up, thus preventing the signal from propagating correctly down the entire axon. Now, there's kind of two things that are involved with this. It's an autoimmune disease, which means your immune cells attack your own cells because some things went wrong. I've talked about those before. But there's also cytodegeneration, meaning degeneration of your cells. Now, we know that both of these things happen, but what we don't know is which happens first, the cytodegeneration or the autoimmunity. So there's two theories that the autoimmunity happens first, causing the immune cells to attack the myelin sheaths, causing the cytodegeneration. The other theory is that cytodegeneration happens first, which causes the immune cells to attack, causing the autoimmunity. So both of these things happen, we just don't know in which order. Either way, neither of them are good. Now, like most neurodegenerative diseases, as of right now, there is no cure for this. The only treatment is just treating the symptoms as they come up, and that is also difficult because it can vary depending on the location. Because the neurodegeneration can happen throughout the entire central nervous system, so you don't really know where the next issue is going to pop up because it kind of comes and goes in different waves and spikes usually. And with the wave and spike comes different symptoms depending on where it is in the central nervous system. It is more common in women than it is in men, and interestingly, it is way more common in northern latitudes. So if you live in a country like Canada, or the United States, or England, or Germany, or any of that, you are way more likely to get multiple sclerosis than you would if you were living in, for example, Australia, or Chile and Argentina, or South Africa, or anything below the equator, which you can see on my map here, which is not missing anything, it's fine. So this is likely due to environmental factors. However, we don't 100% know for exact sure why this happens. There's a hypothesis that it's due to vitamin D deficiency, and before you go write your vitamin D deficiency joke in the comments, you're not funny. But either way, I do think that it's very interesting that it's such a discrepancy between the north and south hemispheres that if you move from the southern to the northern hemisphere, your risk for getting multiple sclerosis does increase, and same the opposite. If you move from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, your risk decreases. There are also genetic factors. If you have a relative that has multiple sclerosis, then your risk for it increases. This is the same for many neurodegenerative diseases. It does also tend to have an earlier onset age than other neurodegenerative diseases that are typically seen in older individuals. This can manifest as young as 18, most commonly between 20 and 40 years of age. Yes, unfortunately, it is a very nasty disease that does almost always result in death because of the issues associated with the neurodegeneration, and there is, no cure. You can only treat the symptoms and hopefully delay the issues as long as possible.